Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be recording slightly different type of video that I have seen going around on YouTube, and I actually am really excited to record this because this is my childhood, and that video is people doing the Mount Rushmore of, I guess, Disney Channel stars, or like, you know, people who they feel like really created like that grounding for what Disney Channel is today, or what I guess it could possibly be. I'm not gonna really get into what I thought of the Disney Channel when I stopped watching it, because that's another conversation. And also, you know, kids nowadays, they might be attracted to a whole slew of different things when it comes to watching TV that I am not, and that's totally okay. This is going to be completely opinion based. So I would love for y'all to sound out down in the comments below your opinion and your Mount Rushmore. Okay, so kind of let's get into it. So I was born in 95. I grew up watching early 2000s and late 90s type Disney Channel movies and shows. At least those were like my favorites. And then obviously, like, I think I kind of maybe stopped watching Disney Channel around 2011. I was still very much into Disney Channel, I think later than a lot of my peers may have been, but that's completely okay. Yeah, I stopped watching it around, like, I think 2011. So y'all do the math on how old I was at that time. And yeah, and so before I really get into my Mount Rushmore of these actors slash actresses, I want to give a few honorable mentions that I do not have on my Mount Rushmore, and had there been more space, they definitely would have been up there. I'll try to go in order with these, given, like, I guess 5 through 8, 5 through 9, or however, you know, we get on with it. Okay, so my first honorable mention is going to be Brenda Song. I really love Brenda Song. I love that she was like Asian representation on Disney Channel. I feel like there wasn't much of that on Disney Channel, and I loved her as an actress. I think she was in a Disney Channel original movie that was, I think it had something to do with snow. Like, it was like it was a Christmas movie. Obviously, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior. That was one of my favorite DCOM Disney Channel original movies. Of course, she was in The Sweet Life, Zack and Cody, then The Sweet Life on Deck, Stuck in the Suburbs. I just really love Brenda Song, and she definitely deserves her flowers. She may not necessarily be one of the like A-list celebrities currently, but I love her and I'll watch anything that she's in, honestly. So yeah, so my second person, second honorable mention is going to have to be Christy Carlson Romano from Even Stevens. Definitely, again, one of those people who I definitely feel were like the base for Disney Channel and what it came to be. And I think like the golden age of Disney Channel, I think that's actually a thing. And so yeah, obviously you got Even Stevens movie, you got Kim Possible, which was definitely one of my favorite shows. And I didn't realize that I actually really did watch that show all the time. Like, I think like there were nights where like my mom would be cleaning and I would like have Kim Possible on the television watching Kim Possible. And I think as a child you don't notice like how much you really watch something and how much you do pay attention to it. Like, there are certain things that I remember watching, but I'm like, I could tell you nothing about it, right? But I'm just like, I remember watching that. But then there's like other things where I remember watching and I'm like, I remember everything about it. I think Kim Possible is one of those things. Obviously, I don't remember everything. I haven't watched that show in like a long time, but like I remember significant things about it, whereas other things I did not, which tells me how much it really did have an impact on my childhood and my, I guess, early teen, preteen years. So yeah, definitely Christy Carlson Romano has to be second on my honorable mentions. The only reason I would say she's not on my Mount Rushmore is because there's people that I put on there. And then also, she wasn't my favorite, I would say. But I think she definitely deserves, like, you know, a mention for sure. And I did like her, so that's why she's in honorable mentions. Okay, so third on my honorable mentions list, I would have to say is going to be the Sprouse twins. It was a toss up between them and my next honorable mention, which you will see who that is. But I think I really enjoyed watching the Sprouse twins on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. That show was very funny. So many funny moments with them, with Esteban, with Mr. Mosby, Brenda Song, obviously. And then obviously Maddie, Ashley Tisdale as Maddie. I think like that show was actually hilarious in my humble opinion. I think one of my favorite episodes was, I think, the Halloween one, where they were like in one of the rooms in the hotel. Like that show is one of my favorite episodes of all time. I can't tell you why, but I really like that episode. Maybe it does have a thing to do with my interest in like a lot of like thriller movies nowadays. Anywho, getting off track. But yes, I think though they were amazing actors as children. I, haven't seen them much in recent things. I know Cole Sprouse was in Riverdale. I think he did great in that show, but that show was, in my opinion, not the best. But I don't think that speaks to his acting skills. I know Dylan doesn't really act much or at all these days, but I think definitely as child actors, they were great and the show was great. And obviously they were later on. And so that's why for me, at least later on for when I was watching it. And so that's why I would say they're not on the Mount Rushmore because for me, they didn't really create the Disney Channel. And that's not when I started watching the Disney Channel. I know of actors prior to them. So that's the only reason they, I guess one of the reasons why they wouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. I don't remember them being in other Disney Channel stuff, like Disney Channel movies. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's as far as that goes. So number 4 on my honorable mentions list is gonna have to be Miley Cyrus. I distinctly remember, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Hannah Montana premiered the same night as High School Musical back in 2005 or 06, 05 or 06. Yeah, but I remember watching them both like the same night and being like really hype about it because I loved High School Musical. We could talk about that at another time. And I remember like, the first show of Hannah Montana hooked me, and I definitely watched it the entire way through. I think Miley Cyrus, obviously, funny enough, I don't think Miley Cyrus was my favorite character on the show. I think, I can't remember her name on the show. No, Lily, played by Emily Osment, was actually my favorite actress on the show. And I did follow her after that, and I do really like her acting. I like her very simple, wholesome acting. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I like Emily Osment. I did like Miley Cyrus. Obviously, she was the main character of the show. And thus she's not on my Mount Rushmore again. Came after when I really did start watching the Disney Channel, but her show was hugely impactful. People were massive fans of Hannah Montana. I was a fan of Hannah Montana. I wouldn't say massive, but I definitely did watch that show every time it came on. And thus I think she deserves to be up there for her impact and obviously the things that she's done thus far. We can talk about her little anniversary show that she did, which I feel like wasn't the best. I don't really think it was an anniversary show. Not much of what the fans expected, but we don't have to talk about that right now, do we? And we don't have to talk about the type of person I feel like she is, but I digress. But yeah, she's the fourth honorable mention. And then for my 5th honorable mention, the only reason they are 5, because I love these two. The only reason they are 5 is because I don't think their show in particular was made for the Disney Channel. Like, I don't think it was a Disney Channel original show. And who I'm talking about is Tia and Tamera Mowry. I love Tia and Tamera Mowry, especially Tamera. But I love the twins. And I watched everything that they were in. Again, Sister wasn't, I don't think, an original Disney Channel show. But I think it was ABC Family. I think ABC Family, Disney had, I don't know if they had control of ABC or owned ABC Family at that time. And I think their show was on another show. But Disney definitely picked up the show and ran it. I don't know if new episodes were run on Disney Channel, but the show was run on Disney Channel. However, they were in other Disney Channel things like Twitches 2. I don't know if 17 again. was a Disney Channel movie, but it definitely ran on Disney Channel a lot. That's where I saw it. And on ABC Family, which again, not sure if it was owned by Disney Channel at the time, but a lot of what I consumed of them was from Disney Channel. And that's why they're not on the Mount Rushmore, because I'm not sure about that. And I don't think a lot of their works was from Disney Channel, but maybe owned by it or by Disney. But yeah, that's why they're 5. Otherwise, they would have been higher up there because I love the twins. Now, getting into the actual Mount Rushmore. So at number 1, I'm going to have Raven Simone. I think that's a very obvious choice for a lot of people. There are people who don't have her on there, and that's okay.
Parents in the house say, hey! Ho! Hey, hey, hey! Ho! Ho! Now suck it to me! Suck it to me! Go! Now suck it!
I'm not necessarily a fan of Raven currently, but in terms of her acting, her comedic timing, she did a ton for Disney Channel. Like, I would say definitely ground up Disney Channel. I think she definitely deserves to be up there for sure. Her impact was insane. I don't know how anyone could not have her on the Mount Rushmore or not even in an honorable mention, but that's just my opinion. Like, when I see that she's not even an honorable mention, I'm like, oh my God, how? She was in so much. She's done so much. And I just don't, I can't understand why. But, you know, again, everybody has their own opinion. I loved Raven Baxter. That's So Raven. That was my show. Okay. I loved all the actors and actresses in that show. The comedy of that show was like just phenomenal. I can't even find any more words, to be honest with you. But yeah, Raven, number 1 on Mount Rushmore. And by the way, this is definitely in order. Next, I think the show I actually watched before That's So Raven. Did it come before That's So Raven? I need to do my research. But was Lizzie McGuire. Hilary Duff is my second on the Mount Rushmore. I think her and Raven, give them their flowers, okay?
Best dressed.
Most photographed.
Most poised.
Obviously, Hillary had Lizzie McGuire. You know, Lizzie McGuire, I don't think was much of like a show for boys, but I'm sure boys watched it. It was like, I think, a coming of age mostly for like little, like preteen and teen girls. But it's like, I didn't necessarily even watch it for that. I just really liked the show in general. I loved seeing her family dynamics, her relationship with her brother. Obviously, I loved watching the Lizzie McGuire movie. And I really like Hilary Duff. She was in a lot of things post Lizzie McGuire. I think also on ABC Family associated with Disney. And so yeah, she is my second. So number 3 on my Mount Rushmore is Shia LaBeouf. Even Stevens.
Where did the girls go?
And I think on this show, I think Shyla and Christy Carlson Romano were supposed to be, I guess, like the story is supposed to be about both of them. Really, I did watch the show for Shia LaBeouf. I really enjoyed him on the show, but I also really enjoyed his relationship with his sister. I thought Shia LaBeouf is an amazing actor, you know, and he still is, regardless of whatever is going on in his life currently. I think he was an amazing actor then as a child, and an amazing actor still now. I know Christy Carlson Romano has her feelings towards him, whatever that may be. We're not considering that here. I think that Even Stevens was an amazing show. The movie I thought was funny. Some people don't like the movie. I like the Even Stevens movie. But yeah, I think those are like, you know, these shows are definitely things that I feel like, shows that I feel like when you think about the Disney Channel, especially for people like my age or a little bit older, these are the shows that come to mind. And so number 4 on my Mount Rushmore, and I would say is the last one. I feel like some people might not necessarily consider this, but for me, it's Kyla Pratt. I love Kyla Pratt. Kyla Pratt had been acting since she was a child, much like Raven Simone. You know, Dr. Dolittle 2, and she was the voice of Penny in the Proud Family.
Oh, goody, a phone book, so I can write down all the numbers I can't call. This is the best Christmas ever. I'm gonna call all my friends on my new celly.
And I loved me some Proud Family. That was another show that I constantly watched. It was Proud Family, Even Stevens, That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, and there's no way I couldn't put these on my Mount Rushmore, knowing how much I watched these shows and how much I enjoyed these actors and actresses. So yeah, Kyla Pratt, definitely number 4 on my Mount Rushmore. Again, I love me some Proud Family. Proud Family is hilarious. I love me some Penny Proud. And Kyla Pratt, I think she just comes off as very sweet and nice. That girl looks the same that she did before. Have you seen her daughter? Looks just like her. Anywho, yeah. And then the Proud Family movie that we have. I'm not sure if she's done anything else on the Disney Channel. Again, I'll look it up, list it here maybe. But yeah, so those are my 4. We got Raven Simone at 1, Hilary Duff at 2, Shia LaBeouf at 3, and Kyla Pratt at 4. So let me know down in the comments below who is on your Mount Rushmore of Disney Channel stars. Who do you feel like most impacted your childhood or deserves to be on there for any reasons, and who might be your honorable mentions. I'm very curious to know. If you would like more videos like this, make sure that you like this video, comment down below, and also subscribe to my channel because it really supports me. And thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.